Good evening, everybody online. I'm Mike Wolfolk from the Mid-Michigan Now digital studio. I want to give you a quick update on what's happening with the election results as we have just crossed the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:06 at this point. I'm going to see if I can show you what we are um, tracking on our website. And there you can see the results here in Michigan in the U.S. Senate race right now. We're looking at 9% of the votes counted. And at this point, Congresswoman Alyssa Slotkin leads former Congressman Mike Rogers 53% to 44%. Again, this is very early. And then I can scroll you through and you can kind of see some of these other races that are happening around the state. Go to midmichigannow.com and you can track whichever race you would like to know the update on. But I want to focus on this race in the 8th Congressional District. And that is the race between Democratic State Senator Kristen McDonald-Rivet and Paul Young, who is the Republican nominee. Both looking to succeed the retiring Democrat Dan Kildee, who will leave Congress when his term ends in January. As you can see here on the screen, I've got my colleagues Courtney Bennett and Kyle Macon joining me here. And guys, it's always a challenge for me when I'm in here. I got to make sure I'm clicking on the right button here. There we go. Now we've got this sort of three-shot going, but it's a little bit. We'll make it work. How about this? That's better. We'll go with this one. Courtney, let me start with you. Kristen McDonald-Rivet, of course, is the Democratic nominee in this race. This is a seat that has been in Democratic hands since the late 1950s. I mean, this is before all of our times. And so with Dan Kildee retiring, and the seat has really been in his family's hands for decades because he succeeded his uncle, the late Dale Kildee. What is the mood there with the Rivet campaign, seeing that these early results are showing her in the lead?
Like you said, the seat was held by Dale Kildee starting in 1976. Then, of course, Dale Kildee took over the seat in 2013. And what we know of this district right now, because the new congressional map, this new area started in 2023. But so far, people are very excited. We had a lot of people that made those phone calls. They knocked on doors. They were really campaigning hard for votes. I talked to two people who are in charge of the Saginaw Democratic Party and also the Bay County Democratic
Hey,
Party.
Courtney, sorry to interrupt you, but we're having a hard time hearing you. I think it's a lot of the background noise.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can step out into a hallway while you're trying to get to a place where we can hear you better. Kyle, let me check in with you. What's the mood there at the Young camp? You're in Grand Blanc Township. Early results again. It's down now. It's at I think 10%. Wait, I have to look at the. Let me find those results. But in this early going, what's the mood there where you are?
Yeah, that's right. I'm here in Grand Blanc Township with the Paul Young's launch party. But yeah, the spirits are high. Honestly, everyone in there is having a good time, having some food, drinking. But they just feel confident that the district wants change. And I just got done doing an interview with Paul Young himself. And he pretty much told me that the reason why they think they need change is that the economy is not working for working class families, protection at the southern border, and then also protecting the Second Amendment as well. But yeah, the spirits are high inside the building.
This is a district that covers Genesee County, Saginaw County, parts of Midland County, and Bay County. The results we have in so far are pretty much all Genesee County, and this is a tight race. It's Rivet leading 49.7% to Young's 45%. There are three other candidates in, but they are down at below 3% each in the votes. Courtney, we're going to give you another shot at this. It looks like you've made your way outside the main room there. Tell everybody again what the mood is there with this early slim lead in the race.
Yeah, hopefully you can hear me better. I'm going to a hallway. People are obviously very excited. Many of them have spent the last several months knocking on doors since August, really. And we were here actually in August, and the mood, the atmosphere is exactly the same. They felt confident back in August, and they feel confident tonight. Mike, like you were mentioning, that this seat has been held by a Democrat for decades now. I mean, going back many decades. So, again, they said that they're excited because this would be the first time, if she's elected to this seat, that a woman would have this 8th congressional seat in Congress in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, absolutely. Wait, I clicked on the wrong thing here. Here we go. Well, okay. Every time I click on a button here, I get a different layout, and I don't know what I'm looking at. Anyway, you can now see what we're showing on our website at midmichigannow.com is this 8th congressional district race. And again, you can see here the counties that are represented, as I mentioned, Genesee County, and that's where all the votes are coming in so far. Saginaw County has not reported yet. Bay and Midland County also not reporting yet. So all of these results are concentrated in Genesee County. And again, McDonald Rivet, as you see right here, 655 votes, or roughly 50%. To Young's 594 and 45%. And then you see the other three candidates there, again, polling below 3% of the votes. Courtney, I don't recall whether you said it or not. Have you had a chance? Have you seen the candidate there? Has Kristen McDonald Rivet been in the room yet? Have you talked to her?
No, we haven't seen her. I'm told that she's not going to make any kind of speech. She's not going to talk to anyone media wise until they call this race. So.
All right, waiting for things to sort of settle out a bit. Kyle, I did hear you say you did speak with Paul Young. Is he still there? Is he sort of milling around talking to his supporters, or did he just sort of dip in, dip out?
Yeah, so he's been in here for about 20, 25 minutes. We did do an interview with him, so you will hear from him tonight at 10 and 11 on Mid Michigan Now. But yeah, he plans on staying here just for a little bit while longer. Then it sounds like talking to his campaign manager, he's going to be heading out, going to a few different watch parties, but he's going to be here for probably the next 20 minutes or so.
Paul Young worked in the first Trump administration, and I know some of the supporters that you spoke with, see his experience and his experience with the former president as being positive. Is that the sense that you're getting from the folks that you've talked to there? That's how they feel about him?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's one of the main topics when doing some interviews with some people here. The fact that, he handled the border under the Trump administration, working in a position in the border. But yeah, they pretty much said because of the support, they're willing to support him as well. And they think because Trump endorsed him, he's a good candidate for this position.
Courtney Kristen McDonald Rivet, of course, for folks up here who don't know, she is the twin sister of Oakland County Prosecutor Karen McDonald. Obviously a family that's rooted in public service. What are the supporters you're talking to there? How are they feeling? What are they saying about their candidate?
They're very excited. They're very excited at the possibility of her going to Washington, D.C. and representing this district. I actually spoke to the Bay County. He's ahead of the Democratic Party in Bay County, and he said that he never thought that there would be a possibility that someone from this area, because again, she's from Bay City, that would be representing this district in D.C. So he was very hopeful on that.
All right, well, this is a race we're going to, of course, watch throughout the night. Still very close, very early in the tabulations here, but as it stands right now, the Democrat, Kristen McDonald Rivet, holding a slight lead over the Republican, Paul Young, 49.7% of the vote to 45% of the vote. Again, we'll continue to watch this, and of course, we'll get reports from both Courtney and Kyle coming up tonight on Mid Michigan Now at 10 and 11 as we continue to track these results. Guys, thank you for your time. We appreciate it. I'll let you get back to doing your reporting, and we'll see you tonight at 10 and 11. All right, take care.
Bye.
All right, that's where things stand right now. Again, that's the 8th Congressional District race as it stands right now. Again, a quick look at, let me see here. You know me, I'll probably, see, I clicked on the wrong thing. There we go. There, that works. This is the Senate race again, and this is the race that's showing 10% of the votes coming in across the state so far. The Democrat Congresswoman Alyssa Slotkin, just under 53% of the vote at this point. Her Republican opponent is former Congressman Mike Rogers. He has 44.3% of the vote at this point. There are three other candidates in this race, all polling at 1% or below, tallying 1% or below. This is a race to replace, or to succeed, I should say, the retiring Debbie Stabenow, who, like Dan Kildee on the congressional side, is retiring after a long, several decades of public service to the people of Michigan. She has held this seat since winning it in the 2000 election, and has decided to step aside. And again, Alyssa Slotkin, nominated by the Democrats to go for the seat. Mike Rogers, the former congressman, who represented the same, essentially represented what was then the 8th district in Michigan. He served several terms in Congress, and in his final 2 terms, his last 4 years there, he was chair of the House Intelligence Committee when the Republicans had the majority there. So again, they are locked in a race that at this point is too close to call. I think I can check the Michigan presidential, or let me see if I can. Maybe not. Hold on. Let's back that up. Oh, these are some local races. These are other races that, of course, you probably saw on your ballot. Wayne State trustees, University of Michigan trustees, several local townships. Let me back that up again and see if we can give you an update on where things stand. Now, this is a look at the electoral maps so far. I think there have been a lot of races that have been called in a lot of states that have been called at this point. And again, this is still very early. Many of these the states polls have closed, but the races are too close to call at this point. And so there have been no projections for those races that have been called definitively for one candidate or the other. You see how the map is shaping out. If you see dark red here, that means it has been called for former President Donald Trump. If you see dark blue, the race, I believe, has been called for Vice President Kamala Harris. Where you see light blue, these races are too close to call, but they're leaning, like these light blue states would be leaning toward the Democrats, leaning toward Vice President Harris. Pink here would be showing where they are very close, but at this point, the former president is leading, but again, too close to call. The states where you see gray, those states, the polls have not closed yet. So, of course, long way to go to get to 270, though. Right now, Donald Trump is showing 177 electoral votes to Vice President Harris's 99. We are also monitoring both of their election night events. The vice president is at her alma mater, Howard University in Washington, D.C. And former President Donald Trump is down in Florida. He has been, I believe, watching early results at his Mar-a-Lago estate. But when he moves over to where his official election night event is taking place, that will be at the Palm Beach Convention Center. And of course, NBC, Fox, and also our Sinclair broadcast team at the National News Desk, all providing coverage on our NBC, Fox, and CW stations, respectively. So you can check those out to track some of those, the presidential race and other national races, including the U.S. Senate. Balance of power is at stake tonight. The Democrats trying to defend their very slim 1-vote margin in the Senate. It has always been thought to be a difficult task for them with so many seats up for grabs. Every election cycle, pretty much a third of the Senate is up for grabs. And in this case, the map favors the Republicans, but we'll see what happens at this point. This is what the new Senate would look like at this point so far: 46 Republicans, 35 Democrats. Still a long way to go here. and there are races that are considered way too close to call or even try to project at this point. This is a look at the map for the U.S. House. Again, balance of power in that chamber also up for grabs. Right now, the Republicans have a very slim, I believe it is a 12-seat margin in the House. And there is some thinking across the national media scene, some of the experts who watch these things, that the Democrats may have a shot to regain control of the House, and then that those same folks are projecting that the Republicans would regain control in the Senate. So we do probably stand to still have a split government, if you will, on Capitol Hill. But again, it's way too early to really to project any of that. But at this point right now, you've got 84 Republicans in the House, 57 Democrats in the House, 218 seats yet to be called. And you can kind of see the map here, the deep red, the pink, the deep blue, and the lighter blue, and some of these areas where elections are taking place. Again, this map is available at midmichigannow.com, so you can check that out. You have governor's races. Michigan is not one of those states electing a governor this year. So again, all of this is available at midmichigannow.com, so you can check that out and track the results. And then, of course, we invite you to tune in to NBC 25 for our 11 o'clock newscast. Yes. Before that, you can tune into Fox 66 because we'll be here at 10 o'clock with all the latest results. Stella Daskalakis and I will anchor our coverage throughout the night. Courtney again and Kyle will be covering that 8th congressional district race. We also have teams from our sister station in Kalamazoo that are tracking the Senate race for us, the Slotkin campaign and the Rogers campaign. Slotkin's team is in Detroit, and Mike Rogers is in Novi with the Republicans. So we will have reports from both of those campaigns as well. So for now, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to head back to the newsroom and continue to work on getting our coverage set for the newscast tonight. I want to thank you for joining us here online, and we will see you at 10 o'clock on Fox 66. Have a good night.